Johnny Cash called it the Ring of Fire, and it's never been more prevalent than here in Waynesville, Ohio. Named after the Mad Anthony Wayne Indian killing campaigns against Tecumseh, which I have stories on. But today is Black History Month. It's the first day of it. And I wanted to pay homage by snitching, telling on the people who associate themselves with white power, the Ku Klux Klan. And the best person asked to verify this story lives in Orchard, Florida, off of exit 384. His name's Matthew Willard Carnes. His grandpa owned the gas station at Main and Franklin here in Waynesville, Ohio, back in the mid-'60s. They called him Red. There was a black man traveling from Columbus, Ohio, who experienced some car troubles. He stopped in Red's station to get it fixed and was subsequently murdered. He drove a powder blue Toyota that was parked in the woods across the street from my house on the Anthony Wayne Trail, which had signage until the Victorian Place moved in and built $300,000 houses and up. They built it on the national monument called the Anthony Wayne Trail, and the car was located somewhere around the north end of Newberry, which runs adjacent with the north end of Somerset, and we would walk that trail, which was a creek line, until we found a big water tile which looked like galvanized metal, and the car was parked on the west side of that tile. We played in it for a number of years. It looked like it had been abandoned for about 20 years. And when the Warren County Probation Department representative, who had retired, Charles Henry Morgan, brought to me the information and told me that where I was digging was a hot spot, so don't dig him up at James Tietmeyer's grave in Section A. I told him that me and Matthew Willard Carnes had played quite a bit near the murder scene, and there was a blue abandoned Toyota, early 60s model, earliest Toyota I had ever seen, powder blue, that sat there on that creek line. And there was never another word mentioned of it again. And I knew by the look in his eyes that I had hit a nerve. Evidence. In an open investigation into a missing persons from Columbus area, so you alert the FBI, you alert the locals, you alert them all, if you're able. And so, because of my knowledge, I was treated differently at the Miami Cemetery, driven out, even after I was gone for a number of years and didn't associate with Waynesville, Ohio at all. I still had remnants of it, talking about it to people, about the racist values down here in Waynesville that drove away my friend, the mayor of Waynesville, Charlie Sanders, a man of color, who became mayor in predominantly white conservative town as a Democrat. And when he did, had to face things like the pictures below, where the local racist, in protest of Barack Obama, dumped pig manure-laced mulch on the site of the Democratic National Headquarters, which is an outrageous act to a Muslim, which is part of what the problem was. And you can see now, if you go by there, there's a little shed about Wilson's Farms in Liberty Township, and you'll often see town pest control vehicles parked there with the mulch around back from some landscaping company. Across the street from that, you'll see a sign that says Trevillo's Farm. It's a little strip there. It's hard to miss. It's halfway between Lebanon and Waynesville, Ohio. I have called out to David Yost on this matter because from all intensive purposes, the facts that they were given to me say that this is an open murder investigation. And if we looked into it, you'll find that these remnants of racists in Waynesville, Ohio, were addressed as our mayor, Charlie Sanders, resigned from his position because he was tired of trying to fight them. He moved on to run for U.S. State Representative and is my nominee for the most influential black person in my life outside of Stanley and Tiffany Harris, my family. As we look, you can Google 1999 and a raid that happened on Waynesville Road to address these racists from the police chief, Alan Carter, here in town. And you'll find a man named Ed Ingram being interviewed in there. And he is a long-time white supremacist supporter who was best friends with my friends and his father, who were the descendants of the man who owned the gas station where the black man was killed at. Ed Ingram can be found on Waynesville Road and interviewed to this day for the facts in the case to solve this unsolved murder. If you put all the facts together with the blue Toyota early 60s model, the name Ed Ingram, the name Matthew Willard Carnes, and the name Rodney Ham, I believe that we can get to the bottom of it. Other people of interest are the man who runs the cemetery to this day, the grandson, Josh Bowling, of Charlie Morgan, who told me the story. You can also find Charlie's son, Brent Morgan, at dispatch for Warren County Sheriff's Department. And I'm sure between the Morgans, Bowlings, Hams, Carneses, and Ingrams, we can get to the bottom of it on this month, Black History Month, and make some amends here in Warren County for the racists who were here before us. With that said, you can also guarantee that I will search with vigor for this answer, because I have been called a liar and shamed, much like my family has, to a point to where I divulged a secret that was important to me to keep secret. And that is that I do have descendants in the government, and one of them was the superior officer to General Anthony Wayne and all other military generals at the time, and possibly is responsible for more deaths, more hate crimes, and more heinous acts than anything that you could ever imagine. As he liberated the South from the Spanish, from the Indians, and the English. His name was President Andrew Jackson, 7th President of the United States of America, and a member of the Hermitage House in Tennessee, where my family, the Donaldsons, married him, as we settled and created country music's favorite city, the home of the Grand Ole Opry, Nashville, Tennessee. There's a lot of things that go between my grandfather, James Donaldson, back to Emily and Rachel Donaldson. Things that I would have preferred to kept as family secrets, or family knowledge, if you will. But since they started sending me pictures of my family, these Klansmen, and aggravating me with their white supremacist technologies, I decided to go all in.